Hello, everybody. My name is Dee, and welcome to Books and Quirks. Today is Friday, and it's time for a Friday Reads. So last week we were still in the midst of reading Rush, so I didn't film a video for Friday Reads because it was kind of the same TBR that I was working on. And now that that's over, I've already filmed a separate video for that wrap up, so I'm just going to kind of talk about the books that I'll be reading that I read this past week after reading Rush was over, and what I'll be continuing on for the weekend. So the first two books that I'm going to be talking about are a continuation of the Alex Vera series that I've been working on with Cheryl of Sierra Flames Fan. We are really loving this series. This is such a fun, fast-paced world and read, and I've talked about it so much. So quickly, this is a world where mages exist, where a lot of magical creatures exist. And Alex, our main character, is a mage, and each type of a mage has a different type of power. Alex is a diviner, so he can see possible futures. And, there's Luna, his apprentice, who, has kind of a curse power attached to her. There is Anne, who is a life mage, meaning she can heal people very quickly. She could also kill people very quickly. Varium, there is Arachne, a giant spider creature who is kind of a motherly figure to Alex. Just a great, great series. So right before reading Rush, we finished Veiled, which was the sixth book. I'm just looking down at my phone to make sure I get it right. And this past week, we read Burned, which is the seventh book. And we will be going on to the eighth book, which is Bound. And after that, there's only one more book that is out before we have to wait till the next one. So we have Bound, and then I don't know what the ninth book is called. I forget. I think it's called Marked or something like that. Anyway, we will be continuing on. We started Bound already, and we will be reading the ninth book, I'm sure, shortly after. These books are very short. They're only like 300 pages, so they really go quickly. And if you're doing a buddy read like I am with 50 pages a day, you're able to finish it in like a week. So they're not very long at all, but they're so much fun, and I'm having a blast reading with Cheryl. Another book that I finished was The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. So this was an anticipated read for me. I thought it was going to be so good. It is about sort of a bookworm named Nina, who works at a bookshop, and she sort of lives a quiet life. She doesn't really have any family. Her mother sort of, globetrots around the world. And, she's sort of been on her own. She's kind of a loner a little bit. Although she does belong to like a few clubs, like a few book clubs and a trivia club as well. And then she finds out in the beginning of the book that her father, who she never knew of, her mother really never divulged that information to her, has died and has left her something. And she is to go to the will reading. And not only that, she has a whole bunch of family members that she never heard of. I really thought I was going to be able to relate to this character. I thought, she deals with anxiety. She's very much an introvert, or that's what the back of the book says at least. And yeah, and I thought that I would really love it. Unfortunately, I didn't connect to this character at all. I was very confused. She was supposed to be an introvert, yet she seemed very outgoing. I don't know. It didn't click with me, and I really didn't like the main character at all. I thought she was very crass, and I thought the conversations between her and her friends were also very crass, and I have nothing against that. I just didn't connect with the writing. I just didn't connect with the characters, and I wound up giving it 2 stars. So unfortunately, it just wasn't a book for me. So the only other book that I was thinking of getting started this weekend, and it's been like itching me for a while, or this week, is maybe Nosferatu by Joe Hill. This is a famous book. There's even a television series now. I'm sure you might have heard of it, or maybe even seen the show. It is a horror novel by Joe Hill, who is incidentally Stephen King's son. And I've read The Fireman by Joe Hill, and I absolutely loved it. This one is about I think, a person who abducts children into this sort of fantasy land. And I don't really know what happens beyond that. If he, yeah, I'm not going to say much because I really don't have a whole lot of information. I used to know more about this book. I mean, I've had this on my TBR for like 5 years. So ever since the book came out. So I'm eager to get to it because I kind of do want to watch the television series, but I always want to read the book before I do that. So I'm thinking, since it is available on Script, I may give it a go this weekend. So we'll see how I feel. But yeah. So really, that is it. That is my quick Friday read. So other than reading Bound by Benedict Jacka and Nosferatu by Joe Hill, I don't know what else I will pick up, if anything. So that is it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you all very, very soon.